It's clear that Epstein had a lot of connections with the Israeli government. He was a friend of something like three or four prime ministers and a very good friend of Ehud Barak, who was a former president of Israel, who would visit him at his home on many occasions. And, the Maxwells, he's just surrounded by people who obviously were deeply involved in Israeli intelligence. And you look at this mix, and if you come to the conclusion there must have been some sort of honeypot scheme going here, that doesn't seem to me like a wacky conspiracy theory. Let's just put it that way. It just seems like a very rational conclusion. Okay, I can't prove this absolutely, but you need to prove me wrong, because it sure looks like that. And we need to be really transparent. You got to open the files. You need to conduct an investigation, a real investigation, that it doesn't stop at certain points because intelligence is involved or whatever. I think clearly something was going on, and the Israelis are involved. One thing is, like when he was first charged back in Florida, when he was actually arrested in the 2000s it was just a joke. He spent the night in jail and then could go anywhere during the day. And he didn't have just one cell. He had the whole wing of a jail given to him. I mean, it's just absurd. I can't believe that was the arrangement. But before that, he fled to Israel. That's the country he went to. Now, this is one place where I actually disagreed with Daryl Cooper, where he said that, a lot of people are thinking that, right, if we actually find out what's going to happen, we'll learn that he was an asset of, Israeli intelligence, an asset of the Mossad. And he says, well, I don't think it's actually so much that. I think he worked for everybody. But it just seemed like it's clear that his relationship with Israel was especially tight. That's the country he fled to. And he waited until his lawyers could work out a deal while he was in Israel. Then he went back. So, I can't prove it. I guess none of us can, because the investigation that should have been done wasn't done. But it sure looks like he was, an asset, a very important asset of the Mossad. And that's probably why this is not happening. It's just like, again, within the establishment, you cannot shine light in those places. It's not allowed.